Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Live Comments. Today is the 100th anniversary when the women were given the right to vote in England, and they were promised a heaven on earth. They were promised a place where they would be equal to all, to the men especially, because they have the same voting rights. It was assumed that once women have a right to vote like men have, and being 50% of the population, they will have proper representation in the House of Commons. They'll have the same representation in the cabinet. They'll have same representation in the offices. They'll have the same representation in the company boards. And nothing is farther from truth. Once again, it was election night of 2015, and Justin Trudeau was running for the office of the Prime Minister, and he boldly declared himself to be a feminist. A month passed, and he made, according to many people, history by having 50% women as members of the cabinet. And when he was asked why so many women, he quipped, because it's 2015. India had the distinction of having the second woman as the head of the government, Indira Gandhi, first being Srimati Bandaranaike in the world. Then they were, of course, followed by Golda Meir and Margaret Thatcher. Pakistan had the privilege of having a women prime minister, the only country in the Islamic world. And people think that since India and Pakistan have had women prime ministers, there's perfect gender equality in those countries. As people imagine, and can possibly imagine, that since Canadian cabinet is 50%, women have gender equality. Nothing can be farther from truth, and nothing can be more wrong. In the Gender Equality Index released just this week, do you know where Canada is? Globally, they have compiled a list of 144 countries. Canada is 35th in gender equality. Wow. And they claim themselves to be the leaders in gender equality. The Prime Minister has been talking about it at every platform, even in Davos. And then he has just committed a few more $1 million for upgrading gender education in other countries, not in this country. Here, indigenous women can be raped and can be made to disappear immaterial because they are indigenous women. They are native Indians. They are not whites. Well, I was talking of the global gender equality index. So Canada is at 35th number. Not a very enviable number, but Pakistan beats. It is 143. Well, it has a privilege of being second. Only one country is below Pakistan. And India, don't feel happy. India is no better. It is the number 87. When I look at the laws, I'm amazed that laws always favor women, even if the word does not, the practice does. But some laws are so stupid. For example, you cannot execute a woman in Iran if she's a virgin. So when a woman is to be executed, the government arranges for her wedding ceremony to be conducted the night before, and prisoners are forced to have sexual relationship with the guards. That is gender equality, right? It is shocking. In Canada, a woman makes 74 cents for every dollar that a man earns for the same job. And yet we talk of gender equality here. And this is a buzzword basically to create an aura of equality and mislead people, especially women, and make them their vote banks. By having your own people as ministers, especially if they are incompetent, makes you send a message that you are for gender equality. But economically, no. As I showed, that if a man earns $1, a woman earns 74 cents. Look at the boards. In all the organizations, look at the basic. How many executives are there, women executives, who are on the boards? Well, I was again amazed at the hypocrisy in India. They say, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Well, good slogans. As I said earlier, gender equality is a buzzword. Coming to India, the economic survey of 2017-18 shows the pink populism. It's an attempt to tap into the women, into the concept of women empowerment to make them vote for the present government. I don't object to this sort of thing, but looking at the facts as revealed in the economic survey of India, women cannot be represented by any color in India. So to call them pink populism is bad. And they have no choice but to be exploited, to live in crime, be discriminated against, be exploited, be harassed, and then say that they are equal. The government of India has decided that in the economic survey, the color pink should represent the empowerment of women, but it's a cruel joke. Now look, first, what does the first pink represent? It represents 2 million missing women in India who are lost every year due to abortions, neglect, bad nutrition. According to the survey, from 2014 till now in 4 years, 63 million women are missing. Where they are, possibly become ghosts. Second, each pink represents one of 21 million unwanted girls whose parents never wanted a boy, but they had a girl. Third, pink represents 16,863 underage girls raped every year according to National Crime Record Bureau. India holds the record. Next, it also signifies 2,000 girls were killed every day in India, in the womb itself or just when they are born. 2,000 girls are killed every day, and the result is the skewed sex ratio. Fifth, it represents every daughter who is never enough for a parent, who will continue having children as long as they do not have a son. Pink also represents those female children between the 0 to 6 who are declining 2.8% per year. And the female children, you go to a mixed classroom, you will find not even 50%. No political party till today, right from 1947 till 2018, has been able to check the killing, the exploitation of the women, and the sex ratio in 2011 was 945 and now it is 918. Is fallen. Then pink also represents the bad performance in literacy. 59% is the literacy rate of women in India. But they study only up to the age of 15. After that, they don't. Pink also signifies 25% rural women and 15% urban women in the labor force participation. And they feed the men, look after them. Either men have become incapable or have become parasites. So this is the situation of women in India. In India, where they say that that country where women are worshipped, angels live, gods live. So why this myth of gender equality that is promoted? As a matter of fact, the biggest culprit in that is the religion. The gender equality will not be there as long as religion exists. Now look at the religion. Take up the major religions of the world. Do you see any religion showing the created to be women? It's all men, all male. Any religious leader who founded a religion, whether it was Christ or Moses or Abraham or Nanak or Gobind Singh or Muhammad, they are conspicuous by their absence because religions were manufactured by the males to exploit women. I was reading Manu Samriti and I found 148 verses criticizing women and leaving her, placing her as a chattel of men. Then, do you see any priest in any of the major religions? Do you ever see a women pandit, a Brahmin, say priest, presiding at marriages and the funerals and the births? Or that Jinau one, the holy sacred, that one? Do you see any Sikh women Granthi, a priest or a Sevada? Do you see any priest in Christianity, whether it's Protestants or Catholics? Do you see any women as an imam who leads a namaz in a mosque? So show me a single religion where women are priests. And since they have not been deemed fit enough to take up that job, that is the root cause of evil, of the gender inequality. Male manufactured, male dominated, and male created religion stands for gender inequality. And since male, because you see, religion was the first organized unit. And since then, all organizations always, without any doubt, have been male-oriented. Even the organizations set up by women, you would find, there are more males than females. I was talking to a leading entrepreneur once, Kiran Shaw, whom we call biotechnology queen in India. When she wanted to set up a project, she sought my help and I helped her set up. And one day I was talking to her, I said, Kiran Majumdar Shah. I said, Kiran, how many women you have? Do you have 50% or 60%? She said, no, hardly 10 to 12%. So, women are exploited by men and they are exploited by women. This gender equality is a fine word, but if we look at the history, it has never been there. even when women were rulers, Queen Elizabeth I or Catherine, the manipulators were always manipulating them. Some women have been very capable. I don't deny it. Queen Sheba, Nefertiti, Catherine de' Medici in Italy, Elizabeth, Indira Gandhi, Golda Meir, Margaret Thatcher in the modern times. So some queens have been, and the rulers, have been great. But you can count them on fingers. For example, in India, the way Razia Sultana was hounded after she refused to be manipulated shows the incapability to sustain women gender equality. If you want gender equality, start at the base and show that the women are the priests in each religion. And I can assure you, Pope would be the first person to oppose it. All the male bastions, whether they are in religion, whether they are in commerce, whether they are in politics, would talk of gender equality without giving an inch. It's up to the women to snatch it. They would never be given something. They'll have to take it. Take it by better education, take it by better health, take it also by manipulation, take it by political force. Women should take a pledge that they will go only to that temple or church or mosque or gurdwara where women priests are there. They should take a pledge that they'll wait only for women. And within a couple of years you would find the gender equality in reality. Otherwise, it will remain a shimra, a sham, a hypocritical chant to mislead women and exploit them further. Thank you.